Welcome to Dragon Con Day 2. This is Saturday, and on Saturdays, Saturday morning is the big thing here at Dragon Con, and that's the parade. And we weren't going to go to it this year, but we had gotten down there early enough to see it. We actually just came out of a hotel, and it was happening in front of us, so that's what you see here is the parade. And it probably lasts a good 40 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on how fast they walk. And it seemed like this year there were big gaps in between them. Here's the Jurassic Park car, and they have a lot of cars. They have the Batmobiles and the Jurassic Park cars, and you'll see a few other ones roll by here in a minute. But yeah, I think this is the first time I actually saw the Jurassic Park car. That was pretty cool. And here is just everybody in costume. Pretty much anyone who isn't in costume can sign up for the parade and be in it. I don't know what that looked like. I don't know what that was. The Valkyries, maybe? This is the Supernatural car, and I was blown away that was there. It was so cool to see that in person finally. Here comes the Ghostbusters, and as you can see, they aren't the normal Ghostbusters cars. Those are weird little Ecto-1 cars, but they did have the original Ecto-1, I believe, a couple times, but these guys who own these cars make them look like the Ecto-1 mobiles, and it's pretty awesome. So here we are trying to get up an escalator, and we got caught in all the Ghostbusters people trying to get up there as well. Holy cow. We did it.
We came, we saw.
Why are we standing here?
People are riding the escalator instead of walking down the escalator. Because you look great.
People understand my intention.
I'll get a picture of this. That would be great. Should I do that?
Yeah. That looked like y'all are sweating just a little bit.
Wander around until I find him.
So this is me as Jason. There was a guy that I wanted to take my picture with and couldn't find him. So I hurried up and put the Jason gear on to go try to get a picture with this guy, and he was just gone. So I just kind of walked around pretty early. This is right after the parade, Saturday morning. I went around as Jason. Now, this is my first time venturing outside as Jason, and I thought it'd be kind of weird, but actually I didn't feel too weird walking around. And as soon as I saw the mystery van there and the ScoobyDoo gang, I knew I had to go and get a picture with those guys. So I walked over there, and as soon as I did, a whole line of photographers came over to take my picture, and it feels great. And here's the picture I took with them. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I would love to see this episode personally of Scooby-Doo. So yeah, lots of fun. Now, this is another panel we actually went to. This is a Mystery Science Theater 3000 panel, and that is Joel, the original guy who created the series, and it was really awesome to see him in person. And what they were doing here was they have a new comic book that came out, and they actually showed the entire comic book while we were sitting there, and it's awesome. As you can see right there, they basically took old comics and showed them there and put them into a comic and riffed on them and made fun of them in the comics, sort of like what they did with the TV shows. And they were giving out the comics, and we didn't end up getting one. They actually did the entire comic here. All the voice actors did it, and it was Joel was there, and Felicia Day was there, and the guy that's doing the new show was there. The two other guys down there at the end, they were the robots. And the lady there at the end, she does Gypsy. They were all there, and they all did the voiceovers for the comic, and I recorded the entire thing. So if you guys want to see it, I can post it on here. It's pretty much the entire panel that I recorded, because I was pretty excited to see all the original guys here. So, and the comic is really good. It's very funny. So if anyone gives me a shout out or request saying, hey, I want to see this entire Dragon Con panel, I'll post it here, so just let me know if you guys want to see it or not. And we didn't go to too many panels. We went to one other one besides this. We went to Tara Strong, who did the voiceovers for like she's basically created Harley Quinn, and she did like My Little Pony and things like that. Alright, this is day 2.
I think you did a good job being at a panel during peak traffic.
I think so. That was a great panel. There's Tom Servo.
Batman Tom Servo.
There it goes.
Going to the up escalator.
Going up and down.
Up. You can't go down. As far down as we can go.
Okay, this is Dragon Con on a Saturday, and you can see how insane it is. This is Dragon Con. I mean, for most people, Saturday is the day that they show up, and this is pretty much every hotel. This is how crowded it is. I mean, you can't move, you can't walk, it's very congested, and if you're wearing a costume, it's very hot walking around with all these people. And we were actually filming there on Facebook as well when I was actually filming this with my camera. And we were trying to get over to the Sky Bridge, was where we were going. And this is it. This is the Sky Bridge. It's very, very busy between every hotel, as you can see. And you can pretty much take one step. One step is kind of about as fast as you move through all this craziness. But again, this is just, I love it. The weird thing is, I don't like crowds, but I love this. I love being there, and I love being around all these people. It is so much fun. Found one open space here on the floor. So, we're not...
Everybody's upstairs.
Oh, is that where everybody is?
Yeah.
Well, then let's go upstairs. Looks like it's thinned down a little bit. Looks like it's thinned down a little bit.
I'm sure you get a lot of footage of me exhausted on the camera.
Exhausted? You tired? You sweating? That's Dragon Con. Okay, what you're about to see here is a memorial for the old carpet that was here at the Marriott, and that's it. That's a memorial. There's one little tiny piece of carpet left that was from the Marriott, and everybody's obsessed with that carpet. They have like the Marriott cult carpet people who will walk around dressed up as the carpet, as the old carpet of the Marriott. That's how crazy things are there. And apparently they didn't tear out one little piece. There's one tiny little piece there. And that's what those stuffed animals and things, candles and things were sitting there for. It's just crazy. And this is our secret hallway. Even though there was somebody down here, this time we went to film it. But this is where we went to relax and sat down this hallway, sat on the floor. And this is where I changed out as Jason, because 99% of the time we came down this hallway, nobody was here. So this was our little secret hallway con that we were having.
Final Fantasy cloud. That's Final Fantasy.
Right? Pretty cool.
That's an actual cloud.
I did it. It's a cloud from Final Fantasy. Alright, we're going to head upstairs now, see what's happening. Seems like there's more people over where we just came from, which is weird. I guess because they took all the chairs out of here.
Maybe we're all in a panel. Was there like a costume contest or a cosplay panel or something over there?
Well, I don't know.
It seemed like a lot of costume people. Of course, it seemed like that was where the party was at too.
Oh, yeah. That's because they had music.
Yeah.
They had music over here.
Yeah, if there was a DJ out here,
Yeah. Oh, I know. Dinosaurs be everywhere dancing.
oh, nice.
What is it?
Well, look at it.
Oh, wow. All right, I'm going to get through the crowd here. I'm going to push through. That's pretty cool. So this, again, is the Marriott and full on Dragon Con. This is it. I mean, like I said before, I don't know what time this was. It was probably pretty late. I think it's probably about 8 o'clock, 8 or 9 o'clock by this point. And it even gets worse. It even gets busier towards the end of the day. And there's Willy Wonka. We had just got done watching Willy Wonka at our hotel, and there he was. So, and that's Cloud from, if you're wondering what that was, that's actually Cloud from Final Fantasy, who's an actual Cloud. And look at this guy. Oh man, he was amazing. That was Mr. Freeze, obviously. And here's Kiss. There was a couple Kiss people, which is I was kind of surprised to see walking around because you don't normally see that. You don't really see that many rock and roll people, which is kind of weird at Dragon Con. I did see Alice Cooper one year. Somebody dressed up as Alice Cooper. And I actually did see Alice Cooper. He was there one year. In a panel. We went to go see him. I think that was the last year I went down there. But as I was saying in the beginning of this video, I don't know what that is. Somebody dropped something. But I was saying at the beginning of this video, if you're not prepared for something like this, it is overwhelming. And as you can tell, it's craziness. Alright, so this is Jason in full Saturday craziness, and this is the first time I went out as him when it was this busy. Usually I try to go out when it was semi-light, but this was one of the last times I dressed as him that night. I went out, and I'm really glad I did, because I met some really awesome people and took some really great pictures, which are coming up here soon.
The other door.
Sailor group stuff in.
Alright, that's pretty cool. Okay, picture time. This is Pennywise, and this guy did a really, really great job with him. Looked fantastic. And now there is Mr. Bucket. I don't know what Mr. Bucket is. My wife wanted me to take a picture of Mr. Bucket, so no idea really. And this obviously is Bucky, the Winter Soldier. And a lot of times people will just find a place and stand and not move. So that's what he was doing. He just stood there. He didn't walk around. He didn't move. He just stood there so people could take his picture. And a lot of people do that. They find their own little niche there in the hotel and just stand so people can walk over and take their picture instead of walking around. And of course here is R2 and BB-8 took their picture. And it's a really nice R2. It's very dirty, really well done. Very, very cool. And here is the Michael I wanted to take a picture with and never got the chance to. He's checking his email there. I thought it'd be kind of a funny picture. You know, just Michael hanging out, checking Google, seeing how his new movie's doing. And that's what he looked like from the front. Pretty nice Michael. Not a bad Michael at all. The one I actually took a picture with later, I think was even better than this guy. And this is the only Thanos I saw. I know there was another guy walking around, and I follow him on Facebook, but I never did see him. But this was a pretty funny Thanos walking around, so it's really cool that somebody dressed up as Robbie the Robot. It's nice to see the classics there, and people, you know, not forgetting the classics. It's really great, and it was a really nice costume. Okay, here I am with Pennywise, and again, when you're Jason and you walk up to a horror character, you don't really even have to ask to take your picture because they're like, oh, hey, come on in here and take your picture. So, and it's a great feeling. It's a really nice feeling. And this is Justin. He runs a show called Night Attack, and he saw me as Jason and wanted me to take a picture with him. And this is some weird dragon. I don't know what it's from, but that entire costume is made out of metal. And it's really, really impressive. Very, very cool costume. So we ended up taking a picture of it to show it off. And here's Jason with R2. Lots of fun. As soon as I got done taking this picture and I turned my back to R2, all of his doors opened up, and I missed it and didn't get a picture of it either. So if anyone has that picture with R2 with his doors opened up, please send it to me. And there actually were people dressed up as princesses there too. There was a Spirited Away thing there. I don't know what that thing is called from Spirited Away, but my wife took a picture with it. And here is a really good picture of the Lego Boba Fett. Great costume, really, really well done. Don't know how he actually made that costume, but it was really cool. It looked like an actual walking, gigantic Lego figure, so they did a great job with it. Star Wars people hanging out there, stormtroopers. I don't know what the other ones. I think that's from Solo. I'm not 100% sure. The dude from The Big Lebowski, just kind of walking around, hanging out. Anyone who hasn't seen that movie probably would have no idea that's who that was. And this is blurry, but this is obviously The Mask, the character from The Mask, and Jim Carrey character. Really great outfit. The guy looks just like him. This is my wife with a look-alike of Ric Flair. That's not actually Ric Flair, but it's so good, it does look just like him. Soundwave, I believe his name was, one of the Decepticons. I believe he was a Decepticon. Now, this is a guy that I talked to about Ghostbusters and asked him how he made his pack, and really well detailed. Everything that he had there was great. And I sat there and talked to him for quite a while about the Ghostbusters gear and where he came from and everything, and super nice guy. I actually have another picture that I took. It was on my Facebook with him. And here's the Nun from The Conjuring 2, and of course the new movie coming out, The Nun. Seen a couple of these actually walking around. Some superheroes that just were standing there. Took their picture. Thought they looked pretty good. Here is Frankenfurter. Just kind of copping a lean, drinking some alcohol. Thought it was a really good picture, so I took it. Don't know who this guy is. I really don't know. He wanted me to take his picture with him, so there I am. Killing another person there at DragonCon. Now, this is probably one of my favorite pictures right here. This is the one that obviously I took when I walked outside of the hotel, and they were all standing around. Lots of fun. Just so much fun, and this is one of my favorite pictures there. And I made my way over to the police box, so I finally got my picture taken in front of the police box. This is after I walked all the way outside from one hotel to the other hotel, and finally made my way over there. This looks like a bug from a video game. I think it's StarCraft. I'm not 100% sure about that, though. But it was really, really well done, really impressive. And these guys, the X-Men, were outside. They were on some steps, which I thought they did not allow them to go out there anymore to take pictures on steps, but apparently they did, because they were out there. And here's a picture of Wolverine from his circus movie, The Greatest Show on Earth, I think it was called, or something like that. But the guy kind of combined both Wolverine and him. Now, this is a picture of Jason and what's his head from Jurassic Park. I can't think of what his name is right now, and I don't even remember taking this picture. It's one of those, I guess I didn't even look at the guy that I was taking the picture with. I guess my wife must have taken this picture. But it's one of those weird ones that I don't even remember doing. And of course, this is a Dalek from Doctor Who, and they did a really good job with that. I wanted to try to get as many weird pictures of Jason with other characters that he would never really run into, like, I don't know, Star Wars, and this is one of them, with him with a stormtrooper. Now, this is one of my other favorite pictures on here with Jason and some of the Star Wars gang. And these were the only guys that were kind of like, okay, They didn't really, I guess, understand why Jason wanted a picture with the Star Wars people. Out of all the people I actually took pictures with, these were the only ones that were just kind of like, all right, sure, whatever, and just kind of took the picture. Here is Pikachu. And those costumes must be really difficult to make. I have no idea how they make them. And here is Jason with Pennywise again. And really great costumes. One of the best clowns there I've seen. This guy was awesome. Of course, this is Deathstroke from G.I. Joe, and really great background here with him. And of course, I had to get Jason picture. And after I took the picture, he said something to me like, "I really enjoy your work," or he said something like, "Keep up the good work," or something like that. And he had an actual speaker in his helmet, so when he talked, it's like, "Keep up the good work," kind of thing. So that was pretty cool. And here is Jason with the Purge people. And it's kind of cool. This is the only Purge people I saw there, and I'm glad somebody actually dressed up as the Purge people, and they did a really good job. And this here was the... I can't remember what movie this character came from, but I know it's Guillermo. It's a Del Toro film. It has to be. But I just don't remember which Del Toro film this character came from. I have no idea. But it's an amazing job on her outfit. And once again, here is a still from Mr. Freeze, and of course they had Mr. Freeze and the other Mr. Freeze, and I guess that's supposed to be the woman from Frozen there in the middle of it. Now these were some really freaking great outfits from Alien. These guys must have been ridiculously hot. Ridiculously detailed costumes too. Even though the woman doesn't look much like Ripley, the costumes themselves look fantastic. And this is the actual only real Freddy that I've seen there. And you can see he is part of the Ghostbusters team, which I thought was really cool. And unfortunately, I didn't get a clear picture of him. It's blurry. But the makeup and everything on him is fantastic. Really original, great character. And I love when people mix movies like this. It's really awesome to see. Now this is the Cylon. Always loved to look at the Cylons, and actually to get to see one in person, wow, I was just blown away by this guy. He was really fantastic. I don't know how he made that costume, but amazing. Now, this is the last night I went as Jason, and I was shocked that there's so many kids that were dressed up as Jason who were walking around, and it blew me away. And of course, as soon as I walk up to the kid, they're like, "Oh, can you take my picture? Can you take it?" I was like, "Oh, of course." And then, I had to kneel down. I could barely stand back up after being on my feet for 13 hours, but I did it. And you can see, like, this guy here has a cardboard cutout of the Jason mask, and it's not exactly accurate, but in the kid's eyes, it is, because it's Jason, and I loved it. To me, this is one of my favorite parts of Dragon Con right here, is when I got to take these pictures with these kids. And the one with the bag on his head just blew me away. I mean, that was awesome. This guy was just too cool, and I'm really glad I got my picture with him. And there was an actual kid there dressed as Spider-Man, and he looked up and he's like, "Oh, it's Jason!" And the parents took a picture with me with the Spider-Man kid there. So yeah, and lots of fun. I mean, really enjoyed that. It was a blast. And then, like, right at the end of the night, this is probably like after 9 o'clock, we were ready to leave. This is my last time out there as Jason. All of a sudden, here comes tons of Jasons. They're like all over the place, and I'm like, where did these come from? So here's the actual adult version of bag-headed Jason, and then I turn around and there's like 4 more Jasons like right behind me, or 3 more Jasons right behind me, and I'm like, okay, where'd all these people come from? And this was the Michael Myers here that was really well done. He did a really good job as Michael. Looks great here. And I love the Jason from part 1. It's great, very funny, very inventive. And the guy must have, a lot of guts to walk around with like no clothes on and a rubber duck around his waist. Really great. And then we got the picture all together with Michael in there. And so it's sort of all the Jasons plus Michael. But then I really wanted the picture with just all the Jasons together. So we ended up, finally getting that together. So it's basically part 1, part 2, and you can consider mine as part 3 and part 4, sort of. So yeah, we got all the Jasons together. This was an amazing end to Dragon Con that night. And we did return Sunday, not too long, but we went back there very briefly for a photo shoot, and let's get to that. Now look at this guy. I mean, this is amazing. This is as good as it gets, people. This is the character from the Netflix show Bright that had Will Smith in it. And this guy was the orc in the show. And standing next to this guy, he had a full latex mask on, as you can see there. It looked like the character. It literally looked like you're standing next to that character in that TV show. And I was stunned. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, oh, it was amazing. And then we were walking down the street to Jimmy John's, and we were following him down the street. And I took another picture from behind so you can see the back of his head there. The guy was just incredible. That is what you call amazing cosplay. Simple costume. I mean, just a simple cop costume with an incredible hood. I don't know where he got the hood from, but wow, just amazing. Now, my wife went down there to cosplay with other people who watch this, I think it's a podcast called The Adventure Zone, and I guess they weren't expecting that many people to show up in costume, but there was a lot of people that showed up in the costume, and so she went down there for that, and that's what this is. These are all characters from the Adventure Zone podcast. It's a D&D thing, and we actually went to see it at an auditorium which was sold out. And that's how we ended our Dragon Con, really. It's Sunday night after we went from here. We went directly there. And it was cool. I really enjoyed it. It was really nice to... Because I run a D&D group myself. And it was kind of cool to see somebody else running a D&D group. So, yeah, that was quite a lot of fun. And the last of the few pictures here are just of Superman and Wonder Woman. And this was the area that a lot of people took pictures. So I just took some pictures of them. So did you guys end up in Dragon Con? Did you see me as Jason? I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever been to a con? Is it as crazy as this, what you just saw? And I'd love to hear from everybody. This was a great experience. This is our only vacation we are having this year. And I loved it. I loved every second, even all the craziness and the sweat. Lots of sweat. Lots and lots of sweat. That was the big thing. Dripping, just soaked the whole entire time. I'm soaked being down there. I knew to expect that, though. So I wasn't in, complete shock that I was dripping. Usually I didn't wear 2 shirts or a cowl for half the time being there. But it was great. I cannot say more about it than it was a blast. Every day went down there. The reason I like Dragon Con so much is because the amount of imagination that's there and the amount of people who have the same interests as I do is there. And you can see somebody walking down the street as like the greatest American hero or some kind of obscure character that I thought I was the only one who still knew who they were, and here's a person completely dressed up as that character. And it's just incredible. I would take this over any rock concert or anything ever. It's my favorite thing. And hopefully this isn't the last one. I want to go at least 20 more times. maybe 30. I don't know. Maybe 40. I don't know. I'd love to go every year. If I could, this would be my vacation every single year. I would go down there. That's how much I enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions about the con, let me know and I'll try to answer them below. And always looking for new maniacs. And if you want to sign up, hit that subscribe button and sign up because we are having Horror Month next month. And we are already having Pre-Horror Month coming this month. Starting, I think today is Pre-Horror Month. I'm going to try to start live streaming either, I don't know when I'm going to get this video up. I'm going to try to post it today or tomorrow. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I love every single one of you out there. All your maniacs are amazing. And I'll talk to you next time here on